Number 15. Rob Manana. We've either heard or possibly experienced having a horrible neighbor. However, one individual has amped this dispute up to new extremes. A YouTuber known simply as Rob Manana has posted over 7,400 videos as evidence against his supposed noisy neighbor. There's just a slight catch to these videos. The noise the neighbor actually makes is minimal, to the point of being drowned out by outside background noise. The so-called unbearable noise is simply light conversation, barely making its way into the home, but most videos are simply a dark screen with white noise, likely from the camcorder itself. As if that all wasn't strange enough, it should be noted the channel's photo is that of several handguns. Cracked.com included Yarna's channel on one of their lists, in which they suggested the noises are from sources only Yarna can hear. Considering how sour disputes can go, it's scary to wonder how far Yarna will be driven. A thought made scarier by his YouTube channel icon. Of course, there's no way to tell if this is possible, but we can't be blamed over speculation due to both the picture and strange nature the videos bring. Furthermore, the Cracked article points out a part in one video where children's feet are heard running past the camera in close proximity, which makes you wonder how close Yarna was getting when recording his videos. No new videos have been posted in 10 months as of this video's upload, and we hope the dispute will end peacefully. Number 14. David Icke. Born in the UK, Icke started off in a soccer career before moving into sports journalism and even politics as a spokesman in the Green Party. Things took a turn for the bizarre when, in 1991, he resigned from the Green Party and held a press conference, during which he claimed he was the son of Godhead. In the same conference, he claimed to know the world was going to end in 1997. Premonitions given to him through voices he was hearing, and a process known as automatic writing. Icke has also become a major proponent of the idea reptilian shapeshifters are secretly controlling the world in an attempt to form a fascist single government world. Some people he includes in this are the British royal family and the Bush family. As absurd as his claims are, a recent study in the US revealed around 4% of Americans believe Icke's claims. Today, Icke maintains a website which grants him a place on this list. He also gives lectures worldwide, with some amassing 6,000 attendees and lasting as long as 10 hours. What has led to these beliefs in him remains a mystery, but it continues to attract people. Number 13. Human Being 151. There are obsessed fans, and then there's Human Being 151. This YouTube channel, run by someone referring to himself as Insomniac, features over 1,300 videos, none of which seem to be grounded in reason or reality. Insomniac has a major fascination with musician P. Diddy. In fact, every single video Insomniac uploads includes an urging for P. Diddy to check his MySpace profile, as he has left several messages with no response. According to Insomniac, the message is very important. One Redditor, whose account is deleted, has claimed to have contacted Insomniac, stating his methods are unproductive and he should message Diddy directly, but the responses were strange and not a direct answer, just stressing he needs to talk to P. Diddy to, quote, live the dream. After being asked why he uses YouTube instead of direct contact is in order to show people his talent, as he puts it. However, Insomniac's motives remain unclear, and as to why he chose P. Diddy as the best example is a mystery. He also refuses to say what his message to P. Diddy actually is, therefore we cannot determine how credible the claims are. Some of the videos offer footage of Insomniac's room, which is overflowing with notebooks and has papers scattered reading more messages to P. Diddy. He claims to have written over 150,000 songs, which could explain the amount of notebooks. At the moment, only this video is available for public viewing on YouTube, and there has been no updates from him in over 8 years. Whether or not P. Diddy ever responded or has ever even heard of Insomniac is unknown. Number 12. Tempt to toss soon. There is a cliche in film to have the ending reveal it was all a dream. This unlucky person actually experienced this trope in real life. A Redditor using a temporary account replied to an Ask Reddit thread asking, "Have you ever felt a deep personal connection to a person you met in a dream, only to wake up feeling terrible because you realize they never existed?" This is a pretty heartbreaking experience, but a user, who we will refer to as Temp, had it several steps beyond heartbreaking. During college, he was attacked by a football player and knocked unconscious. While he was out, his mind created an entire world of its own. In it, he met a wonderful woman. They got married, had a daughter, and lived a happy life. Several years later, he noticed something odd about his lamp and stared at it for days, freaking his wife out and causing her to temporarily leave. Something about the lamp made it click in him that his whole life was fake. He had experienced 10 years in a matter of minutes. The lamp grew large and slowly. Temp felt a great deal of pain, and he finally woke up on the sidewalk. The revelation the last 10 years weren't real was devastating, and he says he went through 3 years of severe depression, mourning his wife and a daughter who never existed. In the message, Temp said he would not do an AMA, so we don't know any more information about him. Several replies have detailed similar things, although not to the extent of 10 years. It's scary to think at any moment we might wake up and discover several decades of our life may have never happened. Number 11. The Coheed Stalker. New York band Coheed and Cambria have gained a large following due to a mix of their impressive and extensive science fiction concept albums and for their talent in progressive rock. Sadly, the fame has led to some unwanted attention. Frontman Claudio Sanchez has based much of the storyline on his personal experiences, which continued with the band's 2012 release, The Afterman Ascension. Before writing of the album commenced, Sanchez and his wife were targets of a rather deranged woman. She posted videos on YouTube and contacted Sanchez via Twitter. The woman had claimed to once be a fan, but quickly changed her attitude towards the band and began verbally attacking Sanchez and his wife. Before Sanchez could report the woman for her harassment, her videos suddenly vanished, and Sanchez never heard from her again. Since the woman has gone silent, it is unknown what led her to turn on Sanchez, although it is speculated to be mental illness of some form. It is one example of how fame is not all ritz and glamour, but also juggling those with scary situations. Number 10. The Pyramid Ransom Er. The Great Pyramids are by far one of the greatest achievements in building humans have ever been capable of constructing. They have also been a source of conspiracy and mystery. It is well known the pyramids were built as tombs for the passed away pharaohs, but there's been speculation they were used for other purposes. On November 17th, 2011, a video appeared on YouTube titled, "You have 30 days to pay me $5 million. The description reads, "I just want to sell my silence. You have 30 days to pay me $5 million. Otherwise, I will upload the full version of my video." The video itself are a series of snippets of the man traveling to the Great Pyramid of Gaza and cut short of showing him drive an RC car inside. After 30 days, the full length of the footage was released. The RC car, equipped with a camera, drives down a long tunnel deep into the pyramid. Suddenly, it comes into a large chamber where a mysterious figure is seen inside, before cutting to nothing. After that, complete silence from the video's uploader, whose identity has remained a mystery. People became confused as to whether or not anything was actually shown. There was also a consensus the whole thing was a ruse, meant to either fool someone into actually paying $5 million, or to fool people into believing some large conspiracy. Regardless, it sparks curiosity as to what this person's motives were, whether he actually found someone, if it was a a ruse, or if it was the workings of a mentally disturbed person who believed he had found something. Number 9. The 4chan gasser. Crystals are beautiful natural formations, causing people to develop an attraction to them. We all might remember science experiments in our childhood where we were able to make our own crystals. A 4chan user anonymously posted a recipe to create homemade crystals, which could be made using home products. The ingredients included several pennies, salt, ammonia, and bleach, followed by the blowing of bubbles into the mix with a straw. However, there was a very important thing left out of the instructions. Their combination made them very toxic to breathe, even a tiny amount. It would appear the anonymous poster was trolling, which could have been deadly for anyone who tried it. The mixtures would create chlorine and chloramine gas, the former of which can cause severe complications to the airway, eyes, and burn the skin, while the latter can do that on top of cause liquid to build up in the lungs. Prolonged exposure to both can cause blindness and even passing away. Thankfully, people familiar with chemistry quickly exposed the person and warned people not to follow the instructions, listing the dangers mentioned above. The mysterious gasser disappeared, and any hopes of discovering their identity were futile due to the anonymity. It is very lucky several people with a good eye were able to spot and call out the person's malicious intent. Considering the severity of the effects the gases have, it is hard to consider this meant to be a harmless joke. It is unknown if anyone was unfortunate to have not gotten the warning and attempted to create these crystals, but thanks to several unsung heroes, many people were spared the suffering. Number 8. Yay video games. On the subreddit Best Of, user I Bleed Orange recollected how a mysterious user had posted over 4,000 comments in a single thread on R Gaming, all unrelated to the topic, and with several mysterious and creepy photos. Before all this, Yay Video Games was brought to the attention of users after he replied to a question asking users their favorite Oblivion mods. The user answered jokingly with the uninstall button, then went on to describe the game as good, but that it leaves a lot of junk on the computer before naming an actual mod. When someone else asked for an explanation, Yay Video Games replied with, "The uninstall button, the game is great, Ubisoft go Steamworks bye bye, always on DRM, but if you oft go work, always on work DR, check out the junk it leaves behind in you." This of course raised some eyebrows, but things were about to get weirder. Yay Video Games continued to post in the thread. Some of the oddities he has posted are a Shell gas station with the S light out, a surreal painting of men in their underwear with other men mock pointing at them, some propaganda, and the list goes on. Eventually, Reddit itself got involved and eventually deleted Yay Video Games' account, believing it to be a bot. However, who made the bot and why remains unknown. The account has even become an online urban legend due to its surreal and unsettling posts. While we will never know its true purpose, Yay Video Games helped to inspire the imagination of Redditors for its duration. Number 7. Cool 3D world. Well, some may call this art, others will never understand it. In October 2016, a 3D animated video appeared on the internet, which depicted a very strange and nonsensical storyline. In it, a nameless individual with shiny copper colored skin and a large nose is frolicking through a rural area holding a glass bottle and dancing to some jazz. The bottle contains miniature versions of his own head. He then goes inside his house where he sits on the bottle and then releases more miniature versions of his head. The film ends with him leaving the house again, skipping. The video was uploaded to Facebook by Cool 3D World with no description and no explanation. Within a day, the video was shared 10,000 times, with many being completely freaked out by it. Now, freaked out is a stretch, but it is certainly a bizarre piece of media. There is still no explanation over the meaning of the video or why it was made, and most importantly, who made it. If Cool 3D World has any explanation, we welcome them to explain here in the comments. Whether or not they ever will is up in the air. Number 6. Reborn Dolls. Sometimes something meant to be adorable can come off as disturbing. Reborn Dolls are a series of realistic dolls resembling babies and toddlers. This art form began around 1939 and was popularized in the 1990s with the aim at creating dolls as lifelike as possible through a variety of techniques and materials. These artists are so dedicated to creating the authentic look, they even get in the details as small as the coloration of veins showing against the skin. The dolls themselves are certainly beautiful, well made and authentic, with the artist putting amazing attention to detail. However, it is hard to deny how unsettling they are as well. Their lack of movement accompanying their realistic features causes them to give a creepy, lifeless stare. Cracked put it best when they describe their images: scream inside of your mind with 1,000 ghostly voices. This leads to what might be the best way to describe the dolls: haunting. These dolls can be sold for upwards of $350, while the mystery surrounding those who are interested in purchasing a doll. Of course, we know a vast majority of people buy them for their artistic quality, but we certainly wonder about those who have bought one with creepy intentions. We of course have respect for the artist behind these sculptures, but again cannot deny the feelings their artwork gives us. These are certainly not dolls we would buy for a children's playroom. Number 5. Chris Chan. Sometimes it's the internet's fascination with an individual that is strange, not the individual themselves. Christine Weston Chandler had been the subject of great interest since her appearance in the public eye back in 2007. Then known as Christian, Chandler began making artwork of her combination of Sonic and Pikachu, which she dubbed Sonichu. The character became the subject of a series of adventures. However, Sonichu is only one piece in people's interest in its creator. Chandler's behavior online and real life has stirred both controversy and intrigue. Chandler was born with high-functioning autism, a developmental disorder which causes difficulties in social interactions, communication, and repetitive behavior. Chandler believed it was necessary to get a girlfriend in order to be fully happy. Chandler was even expelled from school for a year after she made posters detailing her wish to find a girlfriend. Since her discovery on 4chan, the internet has taken to her like wildfire. A series of events have happened since then, which her fans, for lack of a better term, have dubbed sagas. These include her various clashes with online trolls, people who have pretended to be a woman interested in Chandler, people attempting to help Chandler, and Chandler's eventual coming out as transgender. All this would be too much to go into detail, as would be a list of its own, but YouTuber Sachmo released an hour-long documentary on the subject. Chandler's popularity is beyond comprehensible, and she is the most documented internet celebrity, with a massive Wikipedia page with thousands of articles. There are several possible reasons as to why the internet would find Chandler's story so intriguing, and shows how the internet's obsession with someone can be stranger than the subject. Number 4. Humanimals. We all know about the world of furries by now, but these people take it to the next level. Humanimals are a group of people who use a combination of body paint and prosthetics in order to create a detailed and realistic looking animal-human hybrid art. Their website describes themselves as highly visual and engaging walkabout act designed to add the wild dimension to your event. The company has had some high-profile clients, including Royal Academy of Art, Lush Cosmetics, and Ubisoft. They have also made appearances and conducted interviews on Canal+. The group also made an appearance on Britain's Got Talent in 2018, where the judges all gave them an X. Despite the abstract theme and what some critics have called creepy, the artwork is very well done and realistic, making it hard for anyone not to see the hard work behind creating these walking art pieces. These are something the groups above were able to see, thus leading to their collaboration. Their own videos also show the group has a sense of humor, not taking themselves entirely seriously, and able to jest and have fun. However, it is also an uncommon sight to behold, and is certain to drop a few jaws as these actors are seen walking down the street. Number 3. Confess Stalker. Stalking is a terrifying thing to experience, which the internet has in some ways made easier to do, while many of use engage in minor instances of it. There are those who take it to the extreme. Redditor Daryl Pratt posted on the subreddit legal advice with an unusual question. Daryl casually explained how he has followed a girl whom he referred to as a minor celebrity on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. He claims to have sent her kind messages and that she blocked him for no reason. He then made another account and begged her to unblock him, only to be blocked again. Now the story would usually end after this first block. Fewer would reach the second, but Daryl took things further when he created another account under a different identity in order to comment on her posts. He describes her as the best thing in my life and will therefore continue to make false accounts to follow her. This leads to his question as to whether or not this is illegal. Of course, the responses are overwhelmingly in agreement that it counts as stalking, and find his description of his thoughts towards her as creepy. The top poster suggests Daryl grow up and find a better hobby than stalking. Furthermore, Daryl has made comments on other posts which reference his own, and has made other posts to the subreddit relationships, asking advice on the same subject. The last time he made any communication was over 2 years ago, where he said he might be dead by that night. It is unknown what happened to him afterwards. He was saying he would not harm the girl he was referring to, but people were understandably concerned over Daryl's obsessive fantasies over someone he found on the internet. Number 2. The Silmarillion, a beautiful name for such a strange case. The Silmarillion is the name of a 97-page document released on 4chan, which includes poems, notes, and several art pieces addressing a user named UTV Gabby. Before Silmarillion's release, its author, the archiver, had excessively messaged UTV's threads on the sports board, eventually leading to UTV to angrily respond for the archiver to leave them alone. The oddness escalated on July 1st, 2013. The archiver released a sonnet dedicated to UTV, totaling 3.5 stanzas. On September 8th, the archiver began something known as the Bait Club, with the goal of finding UTV's personal information, followed by the release of 2 cryptic YouTube videos on the archiver's account. Then on October 6th, the Silmarillion was released. In the preface, the archiver explained how he has followed UTV over 200 threads, but now his parents have discovered his activities and forced it to stop. He released the document and then disappeared from 4chan. Aside from the poems, notes included floor plans for what the archiver stated would be their apartment with UTV, and even promised to plan UTV's funeral because he would pass away, quote, in 60 years or 60 minutes. Even more disturbing was a ransom note forged using words from UTV's posts, demanding $64 million for UTV's parents to deliver in exchange for their son's return. The archiver in the preface apologized to UTV, stating this was their final message, and then was never heard from again. Interestingly, UTV also went dark after, and there are rumors he contacted authorities and went into hiding out of fear for his safety. To this day, nobody knows the identity of either person and what led to this obsession. We hope both parties were able to move on from this and live regular lives today. Before we get to number 1, my name is Chills and I hope you're enjoying my narration. If you're curious about what I look like in real life, then go to my Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT and tap that follow button to find out. I recently released a small mixtape and I'd love to know what you think of it. Tap the circle icon in the top right corner, then tap my mixtape to give it a listen. It's also linked in the description below. It's a proven fact that generosity makes you a happier person, so if you're generous enough to hit that subscribe button and the bell beside it, then thank you. This way you'll be notified of the new videos we upload every Tuesday and Saturday. Number 1. Markovian parallax denigrate. The internet loves a good puzzle mystery, from Cicada 2201 to Unfavorable Semicircle. Less discussed is something known as the Markovian Parallax Denigrate. In what is possibly the oldest internet puzzle mystery, MPD surfaced on the Usenet boards back in 1996. On August 5th, hundreds of cryptic messages were posted into discussion boards throughout the Usenet, all of which seem to have random letters forming unintelligible language. The identity of the poster remains unknown, and so far nobody has been able to offer a confirmed explanation as to MPD's meaning. There is the belief the letters are placed in conjunction of some sort of secret cipher, similar to the number station. Several people have made attempts to crack the cipher, but without any luck. We are no closer to solving this mystery than when it first appeared 20 years ago. There's also the idea the lettering is code related to the chat boxes from back then, but the programmer remains unidentified. There's even an idea the code is linked to anti-war activist and alleged spy Susan Lindauer, although there's no substantial evidence to this and she denies being involved. As the decades drag on without the mystery being solved, it would appear the mystery would never be solved, but it still piques interest as the predecessor to Cicada 3301. Thanks for checking out this video. Be sure to subscribe because we upload new countdowns every Tuesday and Saturday. Or if you're still not convinced, here are some of our other videos that I think you'd like. Enjoy!